So this video is about something which I picked up at my local auction house about a week ago. It was something I won in a box lot of vintage fountain pens, and I was very excited to get it, especially at an 80% discount from the current recommended retail price. And I wanted to share that with you today. So what I picked up at auction was this beautiful vintage fountain pen. And I'm going to tell you all about it. If you think you recognize this pen, then you probably do. It is one of the most famous pens in the world, possibly the most famous fountain pen of modern times. What you are looking at is a vintage Montblanc Meisterstuck 149 Diplomat made by the Montblanc Pen Company of Hamburg, Germany. And like I said, this is probably the most famous fountain pen of modern times. This is the kind of pen that heads of state use to sign important documents, to sign treaties, sign bills and laws. This is the pen that you will most likely find in those flashy luxury retail magazines, on the desks of CEOs and business moguls, industrialists, titans of industry. And it's been my dream to own one for virtually as long as I can remember. The only problem is these pens are very, very, very expensive. This, brand new, is over $1,000 Australian dollars. And I'm not about to drop $1,000 Australian dollars on anything, as much as I would like to do so for a pen which is as iconic in status as this is. So when the chance came to buy this for the price of $200, $250, I jumped on it right away because I knew I'd probably never get another chance. So I'm going to talk a bit about the pen, what it is, a bit of its history, a bit of its status, and give you a little tour. So let's begin. The Montblanc Meisterstuck 149 was created by the Montblanc Pen Company in 1952. That's when they first came out. They were made in resin, made in celluloid originally. Now they're made in resin, but originally celluloid. And they were absolutely beautiful. I think the reason why this pen is the most famous is because, one, it's very large. This is what pen collectors call an oversize model, because this thing is huge. An average cartridge converter modern fountain pen is probably 2/3 to 3/4 the size of this, so maybe up to about here. This one is much longer and much thicker. The pen has the iconic Montblanc white star on top, beautiful black resin body with gold-filled hardware. So you've got the gold-filled clip and clip ring, and the 3 rings here, the 3 gold rings, which say Montblanc Meisterstuck 149. And then, this is a little historical curiosity. I'll see if I can zoom in on this. You may be able to see there. It says W Germany, for West Germany, because when this pen was made, which was in 1989 or 1988, Germany was still divided. So this pen was not made in Germany, it was made in West Germany. And I still have the original paperwork, which says that this pen was sold out of a jewelry shop in Hong Kong on the 22nd of December, 1989. So going further down, we have the barrel of the pen, nice and smooth, no flaws. And at the end, we have the blind cap. This is what you call a blind cap at the end. And so the reason it's called a blind cap is because you can't see it. It melds into the pen. I'll unscrew it now. Slide that off. And here we have the beautiful 14 karat gold two-tone nib. It's a very large nib. It's a number 9 nib. That's what the 149 stands for. 1 is first tier, means the first quality of pens. 4 is the filling mechanism. 4 denotes piston filler. 9 is the size of the nib, so this is a number 9 nib. Now we have 4810, which is the height of Montblanc in meters. We have the Montblanc star with the M. We have 14K for 14 karat gold. We have Montblanc. And then at the bottom we have 585. Now I have seen videos on YouTube and they say, oh, what does the 585 stand for? 585 is the millesimal fineness of the nib. What that means is it's parts per 1,000 of the gold content of the nib. So 585 parts per 1,000 of gold, or 58.5% gold, which is 14 karat. That's what that stands for. Then on the back we have the feed, as you can see. And I don't know whether you'll be able to see this, just because this pen is full of ink, so you probably won't be able to, but here, camouflaged by the ink, is the ink window. And then up the top, like I said, this is the blind cap. If I unscrew this now, I'll get ink everywhere, so I won't do that because this pen is full of ink. But this is how you fill the pen. You unscrew this here, and the piston inside the pen will slide down to eject the ink, and then if you twist it the other way, it'll slide up and it'll suck the ink back in. So that's how that works. Put that back on. Like I said, the Montblanc Meisterstuck 149 is probably the most famous pen ever made. This is the pen that heads of state use, presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, titans of industry, you know, the real big movers and shakers, the rich and famous, the big flashy billionaires. And it's not hard to see why. I mean, one, it is a huge pen. It's really big. I mean, this is from my longest finger all the way down to here. You wouldn't want a pen that was much larger than this because it would be too uncomfortable to write with. And it's from an iconic brand. It's from Montblanc. Montblanc does get a fair bit of flack. People say, oh, why would you buy a pen from Montblanc that costs over $1,000 when you can buy a pen from Pilot or Parker or Schaefer, Waterman, Visconti, Omas, Montegrappa for hundreds and hundreds of dollars less, and it'll work just as well. Which is true, probably would, but the thing is, and they say, oh, you know, if you buy a Montblanc, you're not buying the pen, you're buying the brand. Which again is true, but you know, some people like that. They like to be able to say that they own a Montblanc. But that should not be the only reason that you buy the pen. And I know some people will probably disagree with me, but that's fine. But part of it is that when you buy a Montblanc, you expect it to be absolutely perfect. You know, I've had friends who have bought other pens, for example, Visconti, which I think is a very, very, very good pen company. They make some beautiful, beautiful pens. Visconti really does. But then I've had some of my friends say, oh, you know, the nib is really stiff. The ink doesn't flow very well. You know, I've had to get it tuned, and I've had to spread the tines and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's a pain in the ass. With a Montblanc, when you take it out of the box for the first time and ink it and use it, you expect the pen to write absolutely perfectly. That is the hallmark of Montblanc, is perfection. For that money that you spend, you expect literally every single aspect of this pen in every way possible to be completely and absolutely and utterly flawless. If there is any issue, mistake, problem, thing that doesn't work, then it's not a Montblanc. You know, it's plain and simple. So one of the reasons why Montblanc has earned the reputation that it has is because of the publicity that surrounds this pen. I mean, you see this pen in TV shows, in movies, magazines, and there's a very famous incident where President John F. Kennedy was using exactly this model, the Montblanc Meisterstuck 149, on a trip to Germany, and that really boosted the popularity or the fame of Montblanc, and in particular this pen. So that's about it. I won't do a section about how to spot a fake Montblanc. There's a million videos out there about that. But I just wanted to share my own views on the pen itself. And I'll close off with a simple writing sample, just so that you can see that this does work. I mean, this pen is, like I said, this pen is 30 years old. All I did was clean it, fill it, and, as you can see, sorry, just trying to write through the camera, which is not easy. I mean, this is not my best handwriting. Definitely not my best handwriting, but as you can probably hear, the pen writes nice and smooth. There's no skipping, scratching, there's no bleeding through the paper. I mean, that's more a quality of the paper than the pen, but and there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly flawless, perfectly smooth. Like I said, that is what you buy when you buy a Montblanc. You expect perfection. And for the money you paid, anything less is, you know, anything less than perfection is sacrilegious, honestly. And so, yeah, that's my little video about the latest addition to my pen collection and the latest addition to my collection in general. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As ever, leave comments, leave questions. If you want to know more about the pen, the history, or if you want to know how to spot a fake Montblanc, because believe me, these things are faked like crazy. Montblanc, Rolex, and Louis Vuitton are faked like crazy. You wouldn't believe how many hundreds, probably millions of fakes are made of these pens. So if you want to buy a Montblanc 149, but you don't want to spend $900, $950, $1,000, $1,200 on a pen, and you want to buy it secondhand, then you need to know how to spot a fake. And if you want to find out, then I've got a really simple guide on my blog, and I'll leave a link to that guide in the description. You can read that to figure out whether or not your Montblanc is real or fake, as the case may be. I hope it isn't, because otherwise you're going to get burned really badly. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you read the articles. Hope you enjoy them too. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, leave questions. I love answering questions. And that's it from me. Thanks for watching.